first video ever was up. I wanted to start my channel off with my coming out video. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. And I'm excited because I know people want to know how I came out. My girlfriend clearly didn't even know my coming out story, like when I came out. Which you're about to find out. She is going to find out as well. This was a unplanned coming out for sure. Definitely unplanned. Picture this. Prom day senior year. Me and my friends were going to be meeting up at my house to go to prom. And I had no date. My best friend Cynthia had a date. They were coming. And my really good friend that also didn't have a date and was also gay was going to be going. Oh, and we were matching colors because my dress was black and she was wearing a tux, which I didn't tell my family because at the time it didn't run through my head like that, hey, maybe warn them because they are like not used to her that way. And she's gonna be coming in with also short hair. She had just cut it, like Zayn vibes and stuff. So to us, it was just like, okay, you did it. It looks great. Like, rock it. But I don't know why it didn't like cross my mind like you should warn them, because even though you would want them to just be like cash about it, it's not how that works. Like obviously we were all like, oh my god, you cut your hair at first, but when it's like Mexicans, traditional Mexicans, yeah, definitely tell them. So she was coming. We were all meeting there. Here I am getting ready at my house, not thinking about this part of the day at all. So they're like, hey, we're outside. I'm like, it's fine, come in, Oh my god. They walk in. My mom opened the door. They both walk in because they're both wearing tux, Jocelyn and Daniel here, not his actual name either. And as soon as I see them, I knew I messed up. I knew, like, for a fact. I was like, and then I saw my mom and she looked at me and she was like, I panicked on the inside. I literally panicked. It was horrible because I was like, please be nice, or like don't say anything mean, or don't be just like, not that she was gonna say anything mean, because mind you, prior to this day, the gay world was never a conversation. It was never like a topic in the house. I just didn't know how she would react. And this was all in a matter of seconds. So as soon as we said hi and whatnot, I was like, all right, just come to the living room. Then Jocelyn was like, I forgot my wallet, shit. Well, let's go get that. And I was like, fuck, don't leave, because I wasn't ready yet, and I wasn't ready to just waltz out of there. So then I was like, you're gonna go get that? You're leaving? Why right now? Fuck. So then they leave to go get Jocelyn's wallet. I go back in my room to put my dress on, and my sister-in-law's helping me, and my mom comes in the room, and she's like, she comes, sits next to me, and she's like, is Jocelyn gay? Does she like girls? I don't think she said the word gay. So then I'm like, yeah, why? She's like, oh, I didn't know that. Is that your date? Because again, mind you, I didn't have a date, so I didn't have to say, hey, this is my date, or I'm bringing a date, or anything, I don't have a date. Why would I bring that up, right? So I was like, no, I don't have a date. And she was like, okay, does she have a date? And I was like, no, she doesn't have a date either. And then at this point, my heart is racing. I tell you, racing, because when she asked me if I had a date, I was like, fuck, we're matching colors. So I get the shoes that I'm wearing and I take them to the living room, because the living room I thought was going to be a safe spot because my brothers were there and my sister-in-law was going to be there too. So I take them over there. I sit down. She follows me. Like, just thinking about it is so nerve-wracking. Like, my heart is racing just thinking back at those moments. It's insane. So she follows me to the living room. I sit down on the couch and she sits down next to me, and I'm putting my shoes on, and she's like literally filling up on my back, and like, I was like, why are you touching me so much right now? Like, why is she reacting this way, kind of thing. I didn't know what was coming. So then she's like, do you like girls? My heart exploded. I did not know how to answer that. I was not ready. I was not at all. So I'm doing my shit and I'm just like mad at this point now. Like I was frustrated because it just kept coming up questions like, what the heck? So I'm like, well, what if I did? Would you still love me? And that is not what she was expecting. She was not expecting me to say something like that. I feel like she had asked the question expecting me to know the right answer like that, right? Not for me to say that. And she's like, what? Like she chuckled and she was chuckled, I tell you. And so she didn't say much. She was like, well, like she kind of like was stuck too. Like she was like, wait, what the fuck? Like, what do you mean? I think my brothers had also made like a comment as well. Like, I don't know, like something stupid. Brother that was there didn't know, and he made a snarky comment, and I was just like, my brother was like, after he saw like that, I was like, not okay. He told her like, hey, let's just talk about this tomorrow. It's fine. Like, let's chill out. And so then my friends finally came back from getting the wallet. We're leaving. Said it like, okay, we'll talk about it tomorrow. And I was like, fuck. I don't want to talk about it tomorrow. Like, I don't. So I'm in the car, freaking panicking, texting my brother, like, dude, she just found out. Like, she's asking me all these questions. She thinks that me and Jocelyn are going to the prom together because we're matching. We're not, I swear. What the heck? He told me to enjoy prom and then to worry about it when I came back, which sucked because it's like prom day, senior year, and this is how it's going down. Like my mind was elsewhere. Like it was no longer like half of my friends, let's party, let's get fucked up. Like I was gonna come back home and shit was gonna be different. Like one sec. I did not plan on crying this early. So I come back in the morning and who's there in the kitchen waiting for me? My mother. And as soon as I walked in, like I thought that it was gonna be like, okay, let's just move forward. Don't talk about it anymore. It was what it was. No. In my dress, she said, sit down. And I was like, a girl's hungover. I am tired. I am sleep. Like, why right now? So I sat in the kitchen and she's sitting across from me, like, and I'm just like heart beating, wanting to throw myself like off. I don't know what the hell. She goes,
do I have to question your sexuality?
And this was in Spanish. So I was like, I didn't know what to say. I wasn't ready to come out. And I could have said no, but I couldn't because I didn't want, it felt like I wasn't being true to myself. If I would, I think I ended up saying yes. I don't remember it clearly because after this, she popped off. Like the lady went off. And I think I had thrown in there like that I still like boys, like I said I was bi. And she was like, oh, that's even worse, da 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 da. So I don't remember exactly like the words that she said, but it was very like Bible verses, church religion down your throat, like in my face, like how, like this is not how you were raised. And it was bad because she said very like mean things, but she was trying to understand like when did this happen, and she trying to like it was like this school that made you this way. Like we were fine living over here, and now we came over here to this bad school. Like it was a school, like blaming everyone else. She was very like, where did I go wrong? Like she blamed her like herself. Like I didn't raise us enough with being like around church. Like it was crazy. So after that day, our relationship went down the hill. Like it was already like rocky. Like I was the bad child, the black sheep, if you say. But then this really kicked it off to a different level. Like anything and everything we would fight about. Like if it was the simplest thing, like we would just bicker back and forth about the dumbest stuff. We would just be, and we couldn't stand each other. I couldn't be in the same room with her. Honestly, I don't think we talked for a couple weeks. And again, this was like summer already, so I was just like working and stuff. And then one day she came up to me. She was like, "Oh, what do you think about moving with your sister in St. Louis?" She said that there's some job openings at her job as a receptionist, you know, that would be good money, you could save, and all this stuff. And I was like, that doesn't sound like a too bad idea right now. Like, I'm down. Like, I was like, yeah, I would love that. And then a couple days went by. I didn't want to go to St. Louis anymore. And I told her, I was like, hey, I'm not moving there anymore. I don't want to go. And she said, no, you're going.
I need a break from you.
Boy, when I heard that, I said, bet. Say less, mother. You know, following up the weeks of moving over to St. Louis with my sister, I'm spending like 24/7 with my best friend. You know, super sad, and not talking to my mom at all, like whatsoever. We had no communication, the minimal, like one worded type of thing. And comes the day to move out, and over here bawling my eyes out. Me and my best friend are like crying, like, oh my god, like, we're never gonna see each other again. Like, this is crazy. Because I mean, we were like inseparable. This girl and I, like, we were together all the time, and that was my homegirl. You know, like we were about to get separated. It sucked. Mommy thought after that, she thought that me and Cynthia were a thing because we were always together. Like, she really thought that we were together, and I was like, no, that's literally just my best friend. Come around saying bye to everyone, and then I get to my mom, and I'm just like, the stiffest hug you can imagine. That was that. I was just like, why are you? I was pissed because she was crying. Like, I was like, why the fuck are you crying? I was showing no emotion. Okay, sister, like later on, she told me, she was like, that my mom was pissed because I'm over here crying over my best friend, but like when it comes to her, like I'm like, whatever. And I'm just like, well, duh, she's the one that said she needed a break from me. Like, why is she crying now? Like, I don't get it. I was in St. Louis for 6 months, and literally from the moment I got there to the day I left, I had 0 conversations with my mom. Like, she would call me, and it would be a one-worded answer each time. Like, how are you doing? Good. What are you doing? Nothing. Do you want to come back? No. Like, things like that. And I would never call her. She would always be the one to call me, and sometimes I would answer, sometimes I wouldn't answer. She would talk to my sister about, like, hey, convince her to come back, like, after being there for like maybe a month or two, maybe 3 months. She was like, convince her to come back, like, I miss her, it's sad, blah blah blah. And I was like, no, why would I want to go back? You're the one that said you needed a break from me, and now you're telling her to tell me to come back. Like, how is that okay? Like, that doesn't make any sense, you know? Fuck. I just didn't feel that wasn't fair. Like, how I was only there for 6 months, and then I came back, and everything was the same. Like, I still didn't have a good relationship with her, and it was very, very rocky. Okay, so fast forward to now, and our relationship is still bad. We don't get along. There's periods of time where it's good, and we just kind of block everything out, and she doesn't pay attention to that, and it's not brought up, and everything is fine, and we kind of like just go with it, and we're fine. And then she realizes, like, we're actually not okay, or I realize that we're not okay, because there's a part of me that she's not okay with, and I can't be that in front of her, so that sucks. And I guess the reason why I'm sharing my story is because I am still trying to be okay. That's not what I wanted right there. I want to be okay with her not being okay with it, because I go to therapy, so I talk to my therapist, and she says, you know, there's a way where you guys can have a relationship without that one thing affecting it. Like, that can be possible, but there's just too much resentment on my side that I don't allow that to happen, because I snap all the time whenever she just tries to say anything to me. Or still a journey trying to get in a good place with her, because I feel like she also doesn't allow that to be what it is. Like, she doesn't want it to be real. It always goes back to that. Like, once we're like trying to be like buddy buddy, and then like somehow she has to bring that up, and I'm just like, bro, we're doing so good. Like, why are you bringing it up? Like, just leave it alone. So I kind of just want to put that out there. I want to hear other people's stories, because how do you deal with a parent not supporting you and still having a good relationship with them, not letting that affect you? Like, my brothers that aren't going through it on the daily, they feel like it's just like, dude, just, you know, forget it, like, F it, like, just live your life, you know. But it's not that easy, because that's your mom, you know, like, you want them to accept you, and they don't. It's hard because I'm living my life every day, but once I come home, it's like I can't be my true self, you know. Like, it's still something that I have to be like, close the door a little bit so that the rainbowness doesn't come out and affect your mother. And I don't want to do that. Like, I'm tired of doing that all the time, because it's like, you know, you're not being who you're supposed to be. It's a work in progress. I am seeking help to try to understand why I'm feeling the way that I feel sometimes. There's this just like snapping at anything that she says. But it's hard because it's like all that we know. Like, I mean, that's how it's been since the day that I came out to her. And that was a little story on when I came out and the aftermath of it. I hope you guys enjoyed my story and got something out of it. Honestly, just come out when you're ready to come out, not when someone is pressuring you to come out. You know, feel like you're lying to yourself, because if you're not ready yet, then you shouldn't have to come out. Like, that's not someone else's to take from you, you know. Shame on you if you have pressured someone to come out, because that's not nice. I just want to hear other people's stories, see how you guys came out and how that went for you, because it is a long, tiring, and exhausting journey if you do not have a support system. It's not easy. Yeah, that was the tea of how I came out. But I hope you guys really liked it and I wasn't weird about it. Give it a thumbs up because I finally posted something, and subscribe for upcoming videos.